Shalom, family. Thank you for listening to this video. I just want to get straight to the point. I don't want to, take too long on this one, but the truth needs to be out there. And the truth is that we need, as Black people, as Hebrew Israelites, as the true Israelites of the Bible, we need to stop polluting and contaminating our seed, our bloodline. And you're probably saying, how are we polluting? How are we contaminating it? By mixing with these heathens, by mixing our seed with white people. Okay? All these heathen nations out here. We should be keeping our bloodline pure. But instead, we're out here, the black man, the black woman, out here with white people. You got black men with white women. You got black women with white men. We need to cut it out. We need to stop polluting our bloodline for so many reasons. First of all, we all know that white people are dirty. That's just the facts. They're dirty. They're unclean, physically unclean people. Okay, they don't bathe. They don't clean their food. They don't clean their homes. They are generally a filthy people. Okay, that's just facts. They kiss their dogs on the mouths. They let the dogs lick their spoons and plates, and they bathe with their dogs. All types of filthy stuff. This is not stuff that I'm making up. These are facts, for facts. Okay, like you can go and Google this stuff for real on your own. I've seen this stuff firsthand. White people are heavy with the incest. Okay, they love that incest mess. Just look at the royal family. Everyone in the royal family is related, blood related. I'm talking cousin brothers, sister mothers. They marry each other to keep it in the bloodline. Why? Because we know they are not really human in the first place. They are reptilians. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to have to do your research on the reptilian race of people. They disguise themselves as human beings. They look like people, but they are not. They drink blood and they eat people. And that is the royal family for sure. But outside of that, as black people, we are the chosen people of the Most High Yah. We are the true Shemitic people. Those white people that say they are Jews are not. They are liars. They have no Shemitic blood in them, and they know it. If you do a DNA test of those white Jews, you would not find a trace of Shem's blood in them. But black people, we have that DNA. Our DNA is so powerful. Everything about our genetic makeup is so powerful, and they know this. That is why they are so hard on us. That's why they oppress us more than any other race of people. Look at everybody in America, okay? Are they oppressing Asians? No. In fact, they made up a whole movement called Stop Asian Hate. That didn't even exist. Who was hating on Asians? Asians own all the hair stores, beauty supply stores, nail salons. They get money to open restaurants galore. So how's that Asian hate? They let all types of white immigrants in here, left and right. But look how hard it is to get black immigrants in here. Look how hard it was for the Haitians to get here. The Afghanis got here in one day. The Haitians were at the border for weeks, living in tents without food and water. And I'm not talking about Africans, because remember, Africans are Hamites. They are not the same as black people. They are a different bloodline. Africans and black people are not the same genetically. If you do your research, Africans come from Ham. Black people come from Shem. The Hamitic race is not the Shemitic race. Just because we have brown skin does not mean we are the same people. That is why Africans can come here so easily and start businesses, start, a good life, basically. Go to any African community. They're not living in poverty. They're living pretty good, actually. Why? Because the Hamitic people, Hamites, Africans, one and the same, have come into agreement. They have a covenant with Esau. They have a covenant with those Edomites. So anybody who is in covenant with Esau will be living not as good as Esau, but will be living fairly good. Just like Moab, the Chinese people, and the Japanese people, Ammonites. They come in covenant with Esau, so that's why they have money to open restaurants and salons and businesses, and they can get here and get their family here no problem. But Haitians, one of the 12 tribes, look how hard it was for them. Of course, there are some, but I'm talking about collectively as a whole. Generally not easy. Because when they know who you are, when they know that you are a descendant of the 12 tribes, oh, best believe your life is going to be hard. And they lay the traps right there in front of us. White people lay the traps right in front of us. And because we are so lacking in knowledge, we walk right to it. The Bible says right there, my people perish from a lack of knowledge. If you don't have knowledge or wisdom, you are going to die. You are going to perish. And it could be a physical death or it could be a spiritual death, both which are terrible. And what I'm saying by we need to stop polluting our bloodline, white people don't love us. Period. Period. Okay? That's the facts. We constantly see these athletes with these white women and they end up going to jail for this or for that. And then the next black athlete will come up. Well, that's him. That ain't me. And then the same thing happens to him. And then another black athlete comes up. Well, that's his white girl. It ain't gonna happen to me. They get a white girl and the cycle continues. They all think it ain't gonna be me. But it always is. The Most High showing you that you are no exception to the rule. Okay? White people, black men, listen to me. Y'all are out here, and I would say this specifically to the black men because as studies go, we know that black men have the highest percentage of being in an interracial relationship with a white person or an other. I call them an other, a white person or an other, Asian or whoever. White or black women, there are some black women out there that do interracial dating, but as a collective, that's a very small percentage compared to white men. The majority of black women are committed to black men, only date black men. But you have a handful out there who will dip and dab and dabble with other species and races and whatnot. But like I said, and this is not my own opinion. As a black woman, this is not my opinion. These are facts. You can research this for yourself. When it comes to black men and black women, black men have a very high percentage of interracial dating. It doesn't matter what their excuse is for doing it. It's wrong either way. And the reason why I say that none of us should be doing it is because they want to white out our race. They want to destroy us. And they've laid many, many traps for us. And the traps come in various disguises. They come in liquor stores. They come in the form of police killing us. They come in the form of the court systems imprisoning us for petty crimes. For example, black men have been getting 10 to 20 years in prison for having weed, which they now just made legal. Is that not a trap? Black people are being shot and killed for traffic violations. A simple stop sign, a simple tail light that was out, simply not having a turn signal on. Boom, you're dead. These are not coincidences. These are not accidents. These are planned operations from Satan, who is using these white people to destroy us. And then we have the trap that's right in front of our face that we pretend like we don't see, and that's interracial dating. That's contaminating our seed. White people know that their numbers are dwindling. They know that they are not having as many births as they were before. For example, that's why they are having recruiters go to colleges and telling white girls, we'll pay you to have babies. We will literally give you money to give birth. We will even give you money to store up your eggs. Freeze your eggs now. That way you can have a child when you're ready in 10 years or whatever years. When you're ready, your eggs will be frozen and blah, blah, blah. They are doing anything they can to promote birth. They're trying to regrow their population because they're not going to tell you in the mainstream news that white people's numbers are dwindling. They're having a higher rate of abortions. White girls are getting abortions much more and more frequently. They are having a high number of miscarriages. They're not putting that on the news, but they are. Their children are now dying from COVID because we all know that COVID doesn't affect black people. Well, it doesn't affect, I should correct that. It does not affect the Most High's elect because not all black people are children of the Most High. Okay, so if you are covered by the blood, if you are the Most High's child, your COVID has no effect on you. However, we know that white people, they are being affected from COVID left and right. There are people who are dying left and right by the thousands. But they want to portray on the news that it's black people. They're the ones being affected by this pandemic. No, it's not. They're even paying black actors, black celebrities to tell lies and say, "Yeah, we had it and we got vaccinated." No, lies. Don't buy into that. So white people's numbers are dwindling, decreasing rapidly, and they are afraid of this. So what are they doing? They're trying to do many things. They're trying to kill our kids, kill us off, stop us from procreating. That's why they're heavily, and do mean heavily, promoting homosexuality in the black community. This was not a real mainstream thing in the black community uh 15, 20 years ago. Pay attention. It wasn't even acceptable to be openly gay in the black community. But now they're pushing it. It's okay to be black trans. It's okay to be black LGBT. It's okay. It's not okay. Because if you are homosexual, you cannot procreate naturally the way the Most High has created us to procreate. Two men cannot have a child. Two women cannot have a child. It doesn't matter if you have surgery. It doesn't matter if you wear makeup. It doesn't matter if you cross dress. It does not matter what you do. The only way a child can be born naturally is with a man and with a woman. And that is it. Point blank, period. I don't care who gets offended or upset. The natural order is for a male and a female. It doesn't matter. They're out here, the government, they're out here trying to steal our organs, steal the black woman's womb. But it doesn't work for them. You understand? It only works for us. It's like having a car and it only works for that specific driver, that person's key. You can't take any key off the street and make it work. It won't. They're out here trying to get our wombs because they know that the black woman's womb is powerful. The black woman's womb is a portal. Everything about us, guys, and I'm about to get real deep, black people are not regular. And they know this. Everybody knows this but us. Black people are not regular. We are the children of the Most High Yah. We are his chosen holy people. We are celestial beings, just like our Father. If the Most High Yah, if God, if you want to call him God, if God is a God, okay, that makes us gods because we are his children. We are not gods on his level. Understand what I'm saying? We're not on his level and we don't have his same abilities, but we are God's little g's because we are his children. And it makes sense because, listen, I mean, it's nature. If an elephant has a baby, what is that baby called? An elephant. If a horse has a baby, what is it? It's a baby horse, right? If a cow has a baby, what is it? It's a baby cow. It's not going to be some mysterious creature. It's going to be whatever that parent is, correct? So why then is it any different for us black people? God is our father, so that makes us gods. It says it right there in the Bible. Psalms 82 verse 6. Ye are gods. Ye are gods. We are gods. Little g. It says right there. Psalms 82 verse 6. Ye are gods, but you will die like men. You understand what I'm saying? Really think about that. If we were just men and we were just regular humans, that wouldn't pertain to us, right? But it says right there, we are gods. Why? Because we are the children of God. Our father is a God. That means we are gods. We are, or if our father is a celestial being, which he is, then we are celestial beings, correct? Right. Think about it. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's facts. It's right there in the scripture. It says we are gods. We were made a little less than the angels. Just a little. When he created us, he did not create us how we are now. We were created as celestial beings. We were a little less than the angels. Just a little bit less, not too much. Which means we did have powers and abilities, supernatural abilities, super strength. Think about it though. Read the Bible. David was able to kill 1,000 men, 10,000 men by himself. Come on, man. One man killing thousands of men by himself in one day. Samson, the strongest man in the Bible. One black man with locks, the strong, super strength. Come on now. Yeshua, Jesus, walking on water. Come on now. Think about it. They put it right there in our faces. It's right there in the scriptures. We try to think of it, oh, it's metaphorical. No, my friend. This is literal. This is real. That's why they make all these superhero movies with us black people. Raising Dion, Black Kid with Powers, Fast Colors, the movie Ken with Michael B. Jordan. So many movies out there with black people with powers because they know we are not normal. We're not average. We're not like them. Think about why everything on this earth needs sunlight. Black people, we get our energy from the sun. We get our strength from the sun, right? Black people, we love heat. We love heat. When it's hot out, you see all black people out. When it's cold, we in the house. That's just facts. Because we naturally came from a heated place. You feel me? White people love the cold. They love winter. They love skiing. They love being little snow bunnies and all that. They love cold because they are cold people. They're not from the Most High. Yeah. Black people like it when it's hot. Think about plants need sunlight to grow. The water needs sunlight for purification. Black people need sun. We get more energy. We get vitamin D. We get all types of vitamins from the sunlight. Our energy level goes up. Our mood is increased from the sun. We can sit in 100-degree weather, 110-degree weather, and be totally fine. White people can't be in the sun. They burn. Their skin peels. They get blisters. They get skin cancer. They get sick. They die. Does that sound natural? Does that sound human to you? No, it's not normal. It's really not normal. They're the only species on this earth that cannot handle the sun. They need suntanning lotion and creams and this and that. And even then, they can only stay in the sun for 15, 20 minutes before they feel like they're about to burn up. Let them stay in the sun too long. Let them be up there for a couple hours. They're going to start turning red and blotchy, and their skin's going to start peeling the next day. It's gross. It's really, really disgusting. because it's not normal. They can't survive. They are a genetically weaker species than we are. Think about in the slave days. Think about, I don't know if a lot of you didn't know this, but during slavery, white women, a lot of them died during childbirth because they were not as strong. Whereas black women, we could work in the field and still give birth for the most part and be fine. Whereas white women would have one child and there's a very high likely chance that they were not going to survive. And then on top of that, when the child was born, white women knew that their breast milk was weak and didn't have any uh, nutritional value. So what did they do? They had the black slave women breastfeed the white babies so that the white child could grow healthy and strong, because they knew that, hey, my white breast milk is not going to nourish this child, and my child will be weak and feeble and will die. That's just facts. Look it up. They had black women that were specifically for raising their white kids, breastfeeding their white children all the time, because they wanted their kids to grow healthy and strong, because we naturally have nutritional value. We naturally have the right DNA. And look now, even now further, we have black people, we have melanated skin, right? We're just loaded down with melanin, correct? All right. White people have no melanin. Don't believe that lie where they say, "Oh, white people got melanin just a little bit." No, they have none. That's why they are stealing and killing black people for their melanin. Okay? All these black people that's going missing, kidnapped and missing, that they just happen to can't find, they stop looking for them. These are organ harvesters. They're trying to harvest our organs. Why? They're trying to harvest our organs and our melanin. Because again, they know they are genetically weak and they're dying out rapidly. Everywhere they went, they carried diseases. We didn't have rats and mice until white people showed up. Black people didn't have uh, rats and mice in our communities. We are naturally clean people. We I know I'm jumping all over the place, but we had to show them how to bathe. Black people, Moors were Hebrew Israelite people. We showed them how to bathe. We civilized the world. Don't believe these lying textbooks. The Moors, which were black people, we showed them how to wear clothes. We showed white people how to stand up straight and walk on two legs when they were crawling around on all fours like some wild cave beasts. We showed them how to eat with utensils and eat off a plate, and how to cook. We showed them how to use soap and water. We civilized the world, black people. But of course, they're going to lie and say that white people civilized us, blah, blah, blah. No. What happened is we civilized the world. Once they learned everything that we knew, it backfired. They turned around and enslaved us, as it always does. Look, history repeats itself. Look at the Native Americans. When the white people landed in the Native American land, which is really us, because we are the true Native Americans. We are the true owners of this earth and the land. The true Native Americans were black originally, but for the video's sake, I'll just say Native Americans. When the white people arrived and the natives showed them how to crop and do this and do that, what did they do? They turned around and slaughtered all the natives, took their land, took their stuff, raped and robbed them. Once they got all the information they needed, they didn't need them anymore, right? We see that everywhere they go. Everywhere white people go, death and destruction and disease will follow them. That is just a historical fact. Everywhere white people go, things die. Look, they cut down forests and trees all the time to build elite apartments that only white people can live in, to build homes that only white people can live in, to build malls that only their white people can shop in. They don't grow things. They only grow things to cut it down, to destroy it. We're black people, we grow things, we nourish things. We are from the earth, we are part of the earth. All the minerals and vitamins that are in the earth, they're in us black people. And that's why white people, they know that their race is dying out. And so they figure, let us procreate with the black man, the black woman, so our children can survive. They only listen. Okay, listen. White people know that they are not going to survive very long. So they are trying to create a child with a black person so that their child can live long. And this is not made up. You can YouTube this. There's even a white woman saying, I only choose black men so that my children can survive. If you take a white person and a black person, you get a biracial child, that child has some melanin in them, which gives them a fighting chance. So they think. You understand what I'm saying? That child now has some melanin, so now they have some defense to fight off the sun, and they have some defense to having minerals and nutrients. That's why they're fighting so hard for this interracial marriage. Not because they love us. White people will never love us. They have never loved us, and they never will. This is all their agenda to keep their species going. White it out. As long as they can get, 1/8 black, a quarter black, or whatever drop of blackness in their blood, they feel like they will be fine. That's why they're pushing so hard this interracial agenda. Pushing. Now look, back in the day, think about commercials. 15, 20 years ago, you couldn't find an interracial commercial to save your life. You could barely find interracial movies 20 years ago, okay? Now you turn the TV on, every commercial is what? Some mixed guy, some mixed girl, some black guy, some white girl. They're all interracial commercials now. All these interracial movies, left and right. Why? Because subconsciously they're trying to get you to think it's okay when it's not. When it goes against the laws of nature. When it goes against the word of the Most High Yah. You think elephants are out here with lions procreating? No, because it's not natural. Do you think birds and fish are out here procreating? No, because it's not natural. So why then do we think it's natural for black people and white people to have babies? When a black person has a child with a white person, you are actually making your child weaker. You're making that child weaker. Whereas if you were a black man and a black woman to procreate, you've just created a strong, healthy, celestial being that can grow up, procreate with another black person, so on and so forth. And we can increase our numbers. But instead, you're whiting out the race. You're whiting out our people, our bloodline. Because now you have a biracial child who's most likely going to grow up thinking interracial relationships is okay. So they're going to grow up and they're going to meet someone white and they're going to procreate and have an even whiter child, and so on and so forth. We see it right now. We see it with the Mexicans and the Latino people, other Latino people. Look at Mexicans today, okay? Look at the Mexicans today versus Mexicans 100 years ago. They don't look the same. Mexicans 100 years ago were black like us. They had nappy hair like us. I say nappy as a joke, but our hair texture. Where the Mexicans today look white. They have the straight European hair. They have white skin with maybe a hint of brown, a hint of a tan to it. But for the most part, they have been whited out. because they gave in. They look, Mexicans, I love Mexicans, I do, but they run to white people so hard. Anything to get across the border. They love white people. They embrace them. Whereas black people, the reason why we still, the majority of us, as a whole, as a collective, why we still look black, while we still have our black hair texture, is because we did fight them off. We did resist them. Only now have a handful began to embrace white people. But collectively, out of all the tribes, we have rejected Esau. That's why black people are not whited out. That's why a black person you can still look at. We have our black features. We have our big noses. We have our full lips. We have our thick woolly hair. We have our dark skin. Because as a whole, we have rejected Esau and his attempts to white us out. Whereas other tribes, the Mexicans, they embraced it. They're like, fine, we're cool with it. Yeah, we'll have babies with the white man. And they did. And look at them now. You can go somewhere and you'll see a white person and they'll start speaking Spanish. And they'll be like, oh, I'm actually Mexican. Like, what? Because you can't really tell the difference anymore, can you? That's how whited out they got. And that's what they want to do with black people. They want us to get to the point where we are non-existent, where we are basically all biracial, or are eighth. We're all octoroons, or we're all quadroons, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, we got to be smart. We got to stop falling for the trap. They're killing on the black market. You know how much melanin is worth? It is worth millions. There's a tanning lotion out there for white people. It's called Black. Do your research on it. Look it up. It's called Black. It's a suntan lotion, or some type of tanning lotion for white people. Why do you think it's called Black? What do you think the main ingredient is? Melanin. Because they don't want to be black. Okay, they don't want to be a black person. They want to be white with all the black people's benefits. They want the melanin so they can stand the sun, so they can survive the sun. They want our organs. They want our womb so their children can live. But they will never have it. You see what I'm saying? Black people, okay, for example, when we're in hospitals, we cannot have their organs. We're not compatible. When they're doing like we need a blood transfusion or a lung transplant or whatever organ transplant, did you know that they cannot take a white person's organ and give it to us? We're not compatible. You can't take a white person's liver and give it to a black person. It will not work. First of all, let me back up. None of that is of the Most High. Blood transfusions and swapping organs, none of that was a thing for us in the Bible. That was not, if it was your time to go, it was just your time to go, okay? Period. Anyway, fast forward. All these blood transfusions, you cannot take a white person's blood and give it to a black person. You know what I'm saying? And they've tried taking black people's blood and giving it to white people. They've tried giving black people's organs to white people, but they die anyway. The white person dies anyway because they're not compatible. They're not a match. You feel me? Genetically, DNA, they don't have what it takes to hold what we were created with. And they try and they try and they try. They do experiments and it doesn't work. You understand what I'm saying? There's a video about the shot for the pandemic, and a black lady, she lied on her application. She was going there to get her little V shot, and she lied in the application. She said she was a white woman, and so when the nurse came out to give her her V shot, she's like, "Oh, you're black. You said you were white. I can't give you this one." I have to give you a different one, which proves that there are different medications and, the vax for different races. Okay? We can't take the same medicine as them. They can't take the same medicine as us. So all I'm saying is, Black people, we are celestial beings. We are the children of the Most High. We do have supernatural DNA. It may be dormant right now from all of the shots that we got when we were kids, and all the hormonal foods we eat, the GMO foods we eat, may be dormant. But soon, very, very soon, sooner than you realize, it's going to wake up in us. And I know I said I was going to make it quick, but there was just so much to cover. They are out here giving white people melanin shots. Melanin shots, okay? To make their skin darker, to make their skin able to sustain the sunlight. But it's not working. It's failing. People are dying. It's backfiring. They're kidnapping Black people, and they're taking their melanin out of their skin, trying to extract the melanin and shooting it up in these creams and lotions and blah, 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 thinking that it's going to make them look blacker and survive the sun, but it's not working. They're getting sick and they're dying because their bodies were not created for our DNA. So all these suntan lotions, look up black products. It's called black suntan lotion or black cream or whatever. I saw it in the gym when I was working out in the gym. I'm like, black? Really? We've come to that? They try to take our organs. It's not working. They are scrambling. They're reaching for everything they can do to survive, but it's not working. So they're resorting to polluting our bloodline by mixing white people and Black people together and having babies. And I'm not trying to talk bad about the biracial people, but the facts are the facts. You are weakened. Your bloodline has been weakened. Your DNA has been weakened. And it's not your fault. It's nothing you did. You didn't choose your parents. But I'm telling this so that you can go forward and procreate. If you're Black, procreate with Black women, Black men. Procreate with each other. Keep the bloodline pure. White people do it all the time. For a long time, they only wanted to, before they knew this information, they were only trying to procreate with each other. Keep the race pure, right? Remember that? When interracial dating and relationships was illegal, it was all about keeping the white line pure. Even now in Asia, a lot of Asians marry Asians. They keep their bloodline pure. Only here in America, we promote so hard this interracial relationship crap. And then we end up with offspring that are weak and confused, mentally confused. And we do it to them. Our kids should blame us for doing this to them. Now they're racially confused. I don't know if I'm Black or if I'm Asian. I don't know if I'm Black or if I'm white. I don't know if I'm this or if I'm that. Because you're confused. Okay? Where if we were to follow the scripture, and every person married from their father's tribe. If you were a Judah, you were supposed to marry someone from the tribe of Judah. If you were a Benjamite, you were supposed to marry someone from the tribe of Benjamin. It was really simple. Life was simpler, but now we have to make things complicated. So all I'm saying is, white people don't love us. Stop falling for the trap. Stop, Black men, stop bashing Black women. Stop treating us like we're trash or we're dirt because you met one or two or three that were no good. Okay, that you're gonna find a few Black men that are no good. Should we stop loving Black men? No, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, we need to look at the bigger picture. We need to stay within our own group. We need to, if we are gods, according to Psalm 82, verse 6, like the Most High said, we are gods. We are children of God. That makes us gods. Then we need to procreate with other gods, right? The black man is a god. The black man is a king. Why would he not procreate with a black queen? It's nature. It makes sense. Why would you defy not only the Most High's laws, but the laws of nature, which he created, of course? The white people were our servants, our slaves. Why on earth would we want to procreate with something that is a subspecies? You understand what I'm saying? We are kings and queens. We are gods and goddesses, literally in our DNA. But we are trying to pollute our bloodline. We can't say we're pro-black, and then we're out here doing everything that's opposite. Having babies by Asians, having babies by whited out Latinos, having babies by white people, having babies by all other nations but our own. We gotta stop falling for these traps. They're right in our faces. We gotta open our spiritual eyes and use our mind, use the Holy Spirit. They are using us every way they can, and we have to stop letting them. This, what was I going to say? What's the word I'm looking for? Desegregation. Thank you. Desegregation was just a trap from the enemy. We were better off in our own communities, having our own homes, our own grocery stores, our own theaters, our own airports. When we had our black communities, we were better off. We were thriving. We were doing better than white people. And that's why they hated us. That's why they were jealous and angry. That is why they flooded all of our communities and burned them down. Tulsa, Oklahoma was not the only one. We did not just have one Black Wall Street. You understand what I'm saying? We had so many black communities that were privately owned, all by black people. But they only want to tell you about one. That's it, of course. But there's so many. In fact, we were doing better than all of their white communities. And so they said, we weren't dependent on white people. We didn't need their money. We didn't need their services. We did not need them. And they were struggling financially. And so they were angry. So what they do? They drop bombs on us. They burned down our cities in the dead of the night. Some cities, they flooded out. Did you know that a lot of the lakes that we have right here in the United States were black towns? These lakes, a lot of these lakes are man-made lakes with black people bones still underneath. A lot of people drowned in their houses because in the dead of night, white people drowned them out. If you swim deep enough, you'll find houses and chairs and roads and streets and everything. You'll find all that under the water because they were black communities. And white people were jealous that we were independent. And so they killed us, they destroyed us, and they forced the survivors to now depend on them. You understand what I'm saying? Now they want to act innocent, like they love us and this and that. They want us to forget. That's why they're trying to push this whole agenda where they don't teach slavery in school anymore. They figure if we don't talk about it, if we stop talking about it, if we stop teaching it, maybe black people will stop being angry, and then we'll be able to procreate more, and they'll be our friends, and we can all live as one, and we can, but as long as they continue to teach, as long as black people know their history, we are going to continue to resist and fight them. The woke ones, anyway, the ones who love black people, we are going to continue to resist and to fight them. So right now, that's why they're not trying to stop the education of slavery just because of racism. They're just trying to stop it because This is another tactic they can use on the newer generations, the younger generations. Hopefully, you know, 20, 40, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, no one will know what slavery is. It'll all have died out. We'll never talk about it again. And we all can just be whited out. We can all be white. But no, as long as we keep talking about slavery, as long as we remind them constantly of what they did, many of us, black people, we're still going to fight and resist them. No, I remember what you did to my ancestors. No, thank you. I'm not laying down with you, white man. No, I remember what you did to my ancestors. I'm not laying down with you, white woman. No. And I'm not letting my child, interracial date. I'm not letting my children date outside. You better not bring home anybody that's white. You better bring home if you're a black man, you better bring home a black woman. If you are a black woman, you better bring home a black man. Same with my grandchildren and my great grand, and so on and so forth. You feel me? We gotta put our foot down. We gotta resist. We have to fight them spiritually. We are not like them, physically or spiritually. We're not like them. We have God's DNA in us. Literally, we have his DNA. That's why we can sense things they can't sense. That's why when we watch these scary movies, black people, we have a feeling. Some people call it a sixth sense, but we have that's the Holy Spirit in us. That's our power in us, telling us not to do this, not to do that feeling. Whereas white people, they'll just run straight to the danger and call it bravery. It's not. It's stupidity. There's a difference between stupidity and bravery. But in movies, that's why they always try to kill the black person off first, right? And in the movies, the black person always dies first or second, right in the beginning of the movie or whatever. Or they always have it that the white person is the survivor. Or all these fake ass movies where 80-pound white girl is beating up all these ginormous black white people or black people, and they're just taking all these guys out. Movies like Hannah and Ava and even Scarlett Johansson and Avengers. All these tiny little white girls are just busting on these people, kicking butt. Come on now. Come on. But the black girl gets beat up, or the black person dies in the movie, or they make bad choices. That's not real. That's not real. But they have to portray us like that because they're jealous and insecure. Because they know the truth. They know our history more than we do. They know how powerful our melanin is more than we know. They know how powerful our DNA is more than we know. They keep us in a state of ignorance. That's why they try to say ignorance is bliss. No, ignorance can cause you to die. Like I said before, my people perish from a lack of knowledge, a lack of wisdom. You feel me? We need to wake up and stop falling for these traps. And that's why, and that's going to be a whole, never mind. I'm not even going to touch on that. That's going to be a whole different video. But what I'm going to say right now, I'm going to end this right now. I know it's longer than what I anticipated, but we need to realize who we are. Remember who you are. Think about Black Panther. What did she say? Remember who you are. And then suddenly he was like activated. It was like a motivational, like it clicked. He was T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, right? Royalty, a king. That movie represents us Hebrew Israelites. We have to remember who we are. We are not just slaves. That's all they teach. They teach our history started with slavery. They teach black people started with slavery. We didn't just wake up and were born as slaves. No. We were a whole royal community of Hebrew Israelites. We ran the world. You feel me? We are gods and goddesses. We are kings and queens. We are celestial beings. We are the children of the Most High Yahweh, our Abba. That's why they hate us. That's why they tried to kill us. That's why they harass us. Because those demons in them can see. Those demons in them can see who we are. They know who. These demons have been here from centuries, for thousands of years, for God knows how long. They're old. They're old in young bodies. You may be in a grocery store as a black person, you might be grocery shopping and a white supremacist who's 45 years old might start attacking you verbally. It's not because who she is. That demon in her knows who you are. Do you know who you are? We need to do research on who we are. Stop polluting our bloodline. We have to be firm. We have to tell the truth to our kids. No, you cannot just marry whoever you want. You can't just marry all these other species and races. No, you cannot. And you have to tell them why. From a young age, from the moment they are old enough to walk, we have to start teaching our children to stay away from these heathen nations and how important it is. So I could go on and on, but I'm gonna end it right here. And I just urge you to wake up spiritually and mentally. Do your research. Learn who you are. We are not regular. We are not like these heathen nations. We're not like white people. We have to stop and we have to resist and fight their plans to whitewash us out. All they want is our DNA, our melanin, our power, our God gene. They want our God gene, y'all. This is not a game. This is real life. Nothing is a coincidence. Nothing is accidental. Everything is spiritual. We just have to look at it with our spiritual eyes. So I thank you for listening to this video. I pray that you would share it and let this video be a blessing to others. Thank you and shalom.